What if I told you that the greatest power in any relationship is not love, not effort, not communication, but the ability to walk away, not arguing, not proving your worth, just walking away in silence? Imagine you've been chasing, trying to explain, trying to make her see your value, but the more you try, the less she cares. The texts go unanswered, the phone calls are ignored, the energy shifts, and suddenly she's treating you like an option, like she can replace you at any moment, and that is where most men make the biggest mistake of their lives. They beg, they plead, they lower their standards just to keep her. But the truth? The moment you walk away, everything changes. She starts chasing, she starts doubting her decision, and suddenly the man she took for granted becomes the man she can't stop thinking about. Why? Because the moment you walk away, you trigger one of the most powerful psychological forces in the human mind: loss aversion. We don't value what's easily available, but the second we lose something, our brain tricks us into thinking it was priceless. Walking away isn't just about distance, it's about power. Power over your emotions, power over the situation, and most importantly, power over how people perceive you. When you walk away, something shifts in the dynamic. You're no longer the man who is seeking validation. Instead, you become the man who demands respect without saying a single word. But why does this happen? Why does walking away trigger attraction, regret, and even obsession? The answer lies in deep psychological principles that govern human relationships. The power of uncertainty and the psychological gap. Human beings are wired to seek certainty. When something is predictable, our brain doesn't pay much attention to it. But when something becomes uncertain, it captures our focus. Imagine you're watching a movie, and halfway through, the protagonist suddenly disappears from the storyline. You'd be confused. You'd start wondering, where did they go? Will they come back? What happened? That's exactly what happens in relationships when you walk away without warning. She knew you were always there. She expected you to reach out. She assumed she could have you whenever she wanted. But now, there's a psychological gap, an unanswered question. And the human brain hates unfinished stories. This is why cliffhangers in TV shows keep people coming back for more. The need for closure is a psychological trap. And when you disappear, she gets caught in it. Suddenly she starts thinking, why isn't he chasing me? Did I misjudge him? Did he move on already? Was I wrong about him? The moment these thoughts start creeping in, you win. The dopamine addiction. Why she starts missing you. Attraction is heavily tied to dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical. Dopamine is released when we experience challenges, unpredictability, and reward-seeking behavior. This is why people get addicted to gambling, social media notifications, and even toxic relationships, because the reward is unpredictable. Now think about this in the context of your relationship. When you were available, she had certainty. She knew she could talk to you whenever she wanted. She knew you'd respond quickly. She knew you were always thinking about her. But once you walk away, that dopamine pattern gets interrupted. The steady flow of validation she was used to, gone. Now instead of feeling comfortable, she feels withdrawal. Instead of feeling secure, she feels uncertainty. Instead of feeling control, she feels powerless. And the brain hates powerlessness. It craves resolution. So she starts checking her phone more often. She starts revisiting old messages. She might even post things on social media just to see if you react. Not because she misses you right away, but because her brain is seeking the dopamine hit it used to get from you. And that's when the regret begins. Reverse attention effect, the power shift. Here's something that will blow your mind. People value what they have to work for. If a woman is showered with constant attention, she takes it for granted. If a woman has to earn attention, she appreciates it more. It's why people spend thousands of dollars on luxury items, not because they're always better, but because they're harder to get. Exclusivity creates demand. Walking away makes you exclusive. Think about the top 1% of men, the truly high-value men. Do they chase? Do they beg? Do they cry for attention? Number. And because they don't chase, women chase them. The moment you become hard to reach, you become more valuable in her eyes. It's simple psychology. What's easy to get? Ignored. What's hard to get? Desired. What's impossible to get? Obsessed over. You must become that man, the one who cannot be easily replaced. The paradox of control: the more you want, the less you get. Have you ever noticed that the men who want love the most often get it the least? The guy who desperately wants to be in a relationship, the guy who showers a woman with endless compliments, the guy who says, "I'll do anything for you." These men rarely get the girl. Why? Because their desire is too obvious. And when something is too easy to obtain, it's seen as low value. Now look at the opposite. The man who isn't afraid to walk away. The man who is completely comfortable alone. The man who values his own time and energy. This man is seen as high value. And because he's not seeking control, he naturally attracts it. The secret to winning in relationships is simple. The man who needs her less gets her more. The man who values himself more is valued more by others. The man who isn't afraid to walk away never has to chase. And the moment you understand this, everything changes. Most men think walking away is about making a woman miss them. But the truth? Walking away is about rediscovering your own value. It's not about revenge. It's not about manipulation. It's about becoming a man who is so focused on his growth, his success, and his happiness that he never needs to chase anyone. And ironically, that's exactly the kind of man women cannot resist. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where you feel disrespected, unappreciated, or taken for granted, don't argue, don't beg, don't explain, just walk away. Because the moment you do, you become the man she can't stop thinking about. The moment a breakup happens, most men fall into one of two categories: the weak mindset, the man who panics, chases, and loses control; the strong mindset, the man who remains calm, confident, and walks away with power. What separates these two? It's not luck, it's psychological discipline. It's the ability to control emotions instead of being controlled by them. The difference between weak and strong men after a breakup is not just in their actions, but in their mindset, self-worth, and emotional resilience. Let's break it down. The weak mindset: why most men lose everything. Most men make the mistake of thinking more effort equals more love. They assume that if they just prove their worth, remind her how much they care, or show her how much they're willing to fight, she will come back. Wrong. When a woman loses attraction, she is not looking for more proof of your love. She's looking for a reason to feel differently about you. But here's what the weak-minded man does. He begs, sending long emotional texts saying things like, "Please don't do this. We can fix this. I can change." He over-apologizes, taking full responsibility for everything, even things he didn't do, just to win her back. He keeps checking on her, watching her Instagram stories, texting her random things to keep the conversation going, and finding excuses to stay in her life. He starts competing. If she moves on quickly, he tries to make her jealous by posting with other women. But deep down, he's still emotionally stuck on her. These actions don't make her respect him. They make her lose even more attraction. Because the truth is, women are not attracted to weakness. Women don't want a man who chases after being rejected. Women want a man who knows his worth, without her validation. A weak man gives away all his power because he doesn't trust himself to walk away and let her feel his absence. The strong mindset: why high-value men always win. A strong man understands that desperation is the enemy of attraction. He doesn't chase, he doesn't beg. He doesn't try to convince anyone to stay. Instead, he does the opposite. He disappears completely. No calls, no texts, no watching her social media, no showing up at places she goes. He creates total emotional and physical distance. He values himself first. Instead of drowning in heartbreak, he focuses on his self-improvement. He works on his mind, body, and goals, knowing that the best revenge is success. He controls the narrative. While the weak man looks emotionally unstable, the strong man remains unshaken. His silence speaks louder than any words. He lets her feel the consequences. Instead of trying to remind her of his worth, he lets her realize it on her own. He understands that a woman only appreciates what she fears losing forever. The strong mindset is built on confidence, emotional control, and self-respect. A weak man makes decisions based on emotions. A strong man makes decisions based on principles. And because of that, he never loses, even if he loses her. Why walking away instantly separates weak men from strong men. Think about this. Have you ever noticed how the man who cares the least always has the most power? In business, the person willing to walk away from a deal always gets the best offer. In negotiations, the person who stays emotionally detached controls the conversation. In relationships, the person who is least afraid of losing holds the strongest position. This is why a strong man never fears walking away, because he knows that the moment he does, he creates two possible outcomes. She realizes what she lost and comes back with respect. He moves on and becomes an even stronger, better man. Either way, he wins. Meanwhile, the weak man stays stuck in self-inflicted suffering, overanalyzing everything she said, waiting for her to reach out, trying to prove that he's worth loving. This is not power. This is self-sabotage. The moment you decide to walk away with confidence instead of chasing with desperation, everything shifts. The secret. Every high-value man knows attraction is lost. When you try to prove yourself, there's a reason why women are naturally drawn to men who are confident and detached. Because deep down they want to earn a man's attention. They don't want a man who is too available, too desperate, or too emotional. They want a man who makes them feel like they need to win him over, not the other way around. Think about it. Who are the men that women obsess over? The ones who are hardest to get. Who are the men that get ignored? The ones who are always available. This is not manipulation. It's just the reality of human psychology. The moment you stop trying to prove yourself and start being the man who is naturally desirable, everything changes. And that starts with one simple mindset shift. You don't need her. She needs you. The weak man lives in fear of losing her. The strong man lives in confidence that he is irreplaceable. And the moment you truly believe that, she will feel it too. Walking away is not just about leaving. It's about triggering an emotional shift in her mind that she never expected. Most women don't realize what they had until it's gone. At first, when you walk away, she feels relief. She thinks she made the right decision. She tells herself, "It's for the best. I need space, he'll move on eventually." But then something strange happens. Instead of feeling free, she starts feeling something unexpected, an emptiness she didn't predict. Why her mind starts to change? When you were constantly available, she knew she had you. She didn't have to wonder if you'd text first. She didn't have to question if you'd always be there, waiting. But now, silence. And silence is powerful, because the human brain hates uncertainty. Neuroscientists have found that the brain craves closure. When something feels unfinished, the mind keeps obsessing over it, looking for an answer. By walking away without explanation, without begging, without closure, you create a psychological gap in her mind. She starts thinking, why isn't he texting? Did I make a mistake? Is he already moving on? Was he never that into me in the first place? And these thoughts torment her. Because now, instead of you chasing her, her mind starts chasing you. How women process. Losing a high-value man. Women go through stages of realization after a man truly walks away. Let's break it down. Stage 1: initial relief. At first, she feels a sense of freedom. She tells herself it was the right decision. She might even post happy and free pictures on social media, not because she's happy, but because she wants to convince herself that she is. But this phase doesn't last long. Stage 2: the unexpected void. Days pass, maybe weeks, and suddenly something feels off. She checks her phone out of habit, expecting to see your name pop up, but it doesn't. She starts noticing small things that remind her of you, your favorite song, a restaurant you used to go to, an inside joke no one else understands. She still doesn't text, but the feeling begins to grow, a sense of loss she didn't anticipate. Stage 3: the questioning phase. Now the doubt starts creeping in. She starts asking herself questions. Did I take him for granted? Did I make a mistake? Why hasn't he reached out? Is he talking to someone else? She might casually check your social media. But now she's looking for signs. She wants to see that you're struggling without her. But instead, she sees nothing. That's when the anxiety starts. Stage 4: the what-if spiral. By now, she's not just missing you. She's starting to regret her choice. She starts playing back memories, but now they feel different. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, her mind rewrites the past, remembering the good times, the way you made her feel, the security and confidence you provided. And then a dangerous question enters her mind. What if I can't find someone better? This is when the shift happens. She starts wanting you back, not because she's lonely, but because she realizes she let go of something rare. Why she starts pursuing you. Now the power dynamic is completely reversed. When you were available, she had control. She could predict your actions. She knew you'd always be there. But when you disappear, that control is gone. And the moment she feels like she lost you for good, the chase begins. This is when you start seeing random check-ins. She'll text you things like, "Hey, how have you been?" Or, "I saw something that reminded me of you." Indirect stalking, liking old photos, watching your stories, engaging with things she used to ignore, reaching out through friends. If she's too proud to text first, she might start asking mutual friends about you. Sudden emotional messages. If enough time passes and she truly realizes her mistake, you might even get the, "I miss you. I've been thinking about you a lot." Or, "Can we talk?" message. And why does this happen? Because the fear of loss is stronger than the comfort of security. She never thought she'd lose you. Now it's a possibility, and her mind can't handle it. Why this only works when you truly move on. Here's the catch. This shift only happens if you actually move on. If you walk away just to get a reaction, she will feel it and it won't work. But if you walk away because you truly respect yourself, because you know your worth and refuse to chase anyone, that's when everything changes. A man who walks away with confidence sends a powerful message. I am a man of value. I do not wait for people who do not appreciate me. And that energy is attractive. Because at the end of the day, women don't regret losing a man who begs for them. Women regret losing a man who never needed them in the first place. What happens if she never comes back? Here's the beautiful part. If she never reaches out, that means you dodged a bullet. Because a woman who doesn't regret losing you was never meant for you. And by walking away, you didn't just take control of the situation, you took control of your life. And the moment you become the man who walks away without looking back, you become the man she will never forget. Step 1, no contact. The 30-day rule. No texting, no calling, no social media stalking. Let her feel your absence. Step 2, upgrade yourself in silence. Hit the gym, improve your mindset, work on your career, become a man she regrets losing. Step 3, let her see what she lost. Don't try to prove anything. Just live your best life. Women are attracted to men who are thriving without them. Step 4, stay unavailable. If she reaches out, don't be too eager. Keep your responses short and mysterious. The more she chases, the more you win. Step 5, if she comes back, decide wisely. Did she change, or is she just afraid of losing you? If she's only back because she's lonely, keep walking. The real power of walking away is not about making her regret losing you. It's about transforming yourself into a man she could never replace. This is where most men fail. They walk away, but they don't evolve. They sit in silence, hoping she'll come back, constantly checking her social media, replaying old memories in their minds. But that's not walking away, that's waiting. And waiting keeps you stuck in the past. The ultimate revenge isn't getting her back. It's becoming so powerful that she realizes she lost something truly rare. Why moving on is the most powerful response. Nothing is more painful to a woman than seeing a man she once had become the best version of himself without her. Why? Because it forces her to confront a harsh truth. I had a man with unlimited potential, and I let him go. And that thought haunts her, because now she sees you becoming the man she always wanted, but now she no longer has access to you. That's what makes moving on truly powerful. How to make yourself unforgettable. Women don't regret losing a man who stays the same. They regret losing a man who outgrows them. Here's how you become that man. 1. Build a life that's bigger than her. Most men build their identity around their relationships, but powerful men, they build a life so strong, so fulfilling that no woman can ever be the center of it. Start focusing on yourself. Chase your goals like you once chased her. Develop new skills that make you more valuable. Build a network of high-value people. Upgrade your lifestyle. Travel, explore, expand your world. Because the moment your life becomes more exciting than a relationship, she'll start wondering why she's no longer part of it. 2. Become a man of status and mystery. There's a reason women are drawn to men they can't fully understand. When she knew everything about you, when she knew your routine, your thoughts, your emotions. There was no excitement, no chase, but now, she knows nothing. She doesn't know what you're doing, who you're with, if you even care. And that mystery drives her crazy. That's why staying off her radar is crucial. Disappear, level up. Let her find out through other people how much you've changed. Because when she hears about the new, upgraded you from others, it hits different. 3. Master the art of emotional control. A man who can't control his emotions is a man who will always be controlled by women. Think about it. If her ignoring you makes you angry, she has power. If her moving on makes you jealous, she has power. If her silence makes you desperate, she has power. But if nothing she does affects you anymore, that's when you win. Women respect men who are in control of their emotions. That's why the ultimate revenge isn't just walking away, it's walking away without any emotional reaction. 4. Become the man. She thought she could do better then. Most women think they can do better when they leave a man. That's why they leave without hesitation. But the moment she sees that you upgraded your mindset, elevated your social status, became more physically attractive, started winning in life, she starts to second-guess everything. Because now, she's forced to compare you to the men she meets. And guess what? Most of them aren't even close to the man you've become. When she realizes you're gone for good, at some point she'll reach out. Maybe a casual message, maybe a deep conversation. But by then, you'll be so far ahead that you won't even care. And that's the ultimate revenge. Knowing that the man you've become and is no longer available to the woman who once took you for granted. If this video helped you, hit the like button, subscribe for more powerful insights, and drop a comment. Have you ever walked away and made someone regret losing you? Let's talk below.